Last time on the Fulham Save, we created ourselves a super fluid 4-3-3. After analysing the players with a combination of data and attributes, we identified targets, built the scout team, came close in the Champions League, and had a pretty successful time. So today we look to push on and get Fulham into that top 4. Is it the impossible dream? So welcome back. I guess the first big news is we have ourselves a new skin. So this is the WTCS Gold skin. Link will be in the description. And the reason I've chose this is because it gives us our attributes. And when I press this analyst tab, it also gives us that infamous pie chart of data. So now we've got the best of both worlds. So I don't have to flip between both. So I can judge players on attributes and on the data as well. And if you're more of a bar chart person, it's got them as well for you. So last time I said I was going to use Smith Rowe as a Mazzala, and I still am. At the minute, I'm going to give Traore a little go out wide. Now, Adama has not been a regular for me, as you can see from his past history there. He's 22 in 17 games, mostly off the bench. His average rating is actually pretty good. And when you look at his data, like I have done now, his expected assists are through the roof. That is absolutely fantastic. So he's probably worth giving a go from the start. So when I was looking to strengthen this team for next season, the only real position I feel is desperately needed is a new goalkeeper. There's Bernd Leno. His value is still massive at 36 million despite being 33, so I've slapped him on the transfer list. That's because last season he just wasn't preventing goals. He had a massive drop off from the season before, so I think the time is right to cash in. A reminder on what happened last season: we ended up finishing 6th in the table, so we'll be in the Europa League next season. We didn't get any success really in any of the competitions. We had a good run in the Champions League but got knocked out on penalties by AS Monaco. This is the good reminder why it is vital to do your shortlisting at the end of the season when all those data metrics are still active. And I use these recruitment focuses to help us now. They've been at it a good while now. The guy in Italy is coming up with some monster targets. Obviously, you'll always get some from the Premier League. And interestingly, we might hit jackpot with the North American and South American scouts. Now, this will be a signing based on scout reports rather than data. This is Rayan, who is only 18 years of age. Don't get me wrong, his data analysis is pretty good. He's playing as an attacking midfielder or sometimes a striker, but he has only played 6 games, so it's based on potential here. If you go to his scout reports, you can see the amount of pros he's got. The main one that struck a balance was the fact that he's going to be available for just 14 million, can play in a couple of positions, he's pacey. And then when you actually look at his attributes, for an 18-year-old with the potential to grow even further, those physicals are outrageous. So he's on the way in. It only costed me 14 million, deal done. That same approach led me to Ethan Nwaneri. Arsenal just have not gave him a look in, and unlike real life have made him available for loan, but I took it a step further and have sealed the transfer. And with all these pros, it's really not hard to see why. Add to the fact he can play in numerous positions. He could either fill that outside slot or as an attacking Mazzala. And look at these attributes already. He's coming in for 4.4 million. That's got to be an absolute snip. Also coming in was one of my favourite ways to bring in players was the old expiring in 6 months tab. In came Hassam Ouar. Free transfers from Saudi Arabia. He's had a good couple of seasons there. We haven't got full data on him because we don't scout that area, but the main ones I was looking at, expected assists, is blooming great. Add to that the attributes for a free transfer, that's a no-brainer. The next free transfer was Zizo, supplied to me by my African scout. He's came in from Egyptian football last season with an absolutely fantastic attacking midfield performance. So he's a current international. He's got a good attribute range, fantastic technique. He can fill any of the slots in midfield or out wide. No brainer again for a free transfer. But the next one is the headline grabber. It's a new striker in Ivan Toney. Toney spent 2 seasons in Saudi Arabia, scoring a whopping 40 goals. Great performance in terms of his analysis last season, and of course he's got great attributes. He joins on a free transfer. I've got 2 great strikers now. So I talked about replacing Bernd Leno. And before I introduce the new signing, here's his pie chart. Check that out. He keeps clean sheets, he stops goals going in, and he's not bad with the ball at his feet. Attributes are really good solid range. I love his scout report, consistent, enjoys big matches, organises defence. Our new number 1 goalkeeper is Bento, coming in from Saudi Arabia. And the best thing about this deal is it's cost me 6 million after performances. An absolute bargain. So at this stage of pre-season, I've got 6 players coming in. And it's only going to cost me 17.5 million. So the squad's going to grow, but I do have European competition to contend with next season. So things were going well in terms of targets, but now I wanted to focus on getting rid of some players as well, because I want to balance the books as best we can. And I was delighted to get rid of Bernd Leno. He was great in season 1, but 33 million for a 33-year-old was outrageous business. There was also a clutch of other players that left us for about 4.6 million, so we're bringing in that money again. And I did have time to sign one more bargain. Axel Disasi from rivals Chelsea for just 13 million. This guy is a physically dominating centre-back, so if you have any problems at centre-back, he can jump straight in. And we're keeping track of this, so we've brought in 111 million now, and we've sold 121. Yeah, the family is still going to be buzzing with that. So we had high hopes for the oncoming season after we went perfect in the friendlies, including big wins against Ajax and Napoli. And we made a fine start to the season with a 1-1 away draw at Old Trafford with Tony bagging the penalty. We followed this up with a big 4-0 win against Nottingham Forest at home. And we got a really good draw away at Anfield. The way the 4-3-3 was shaping up this season, we really did play wide with the Mazzalas really floating around into the wider areas, leaving Pablo just to hold down the fort in the middle. You can see that in this defeat to Manchester City. It was a close game, but that's kind of the way we play. Number 12 is our anchor man. All the other guys kind of interchange with each other out wide. And in the Europa League against Atalanta, you can kind of see that here as Pablo in central midfield starts to move off, finds the Mazzala, and it ends up with Ivan Toney scoring. One of our best performances of the season, especially in the Europa League, as we batter one of the fancied teams 4-1. However, the distraction of Europe was getting in the way a bit, and by the mid-winter break, we dropped off a little in the league. We're still in the ballpark, but we're in our usual slot in and around 7th. So we've been good in Europe, but in the league we were dropping off a bit, and I was just seeing worrying signs. Last season, Anthony Robinson was really good down the left-hand side, but this season, from an attacking perspective, it dropped off quite alarmingly. Things were slightly better on the right-hand side with Kenny Tete, but even Andreas in central midfield had just dropped off slightly. Second half of the season, we did improve a bit. But really our season was summed up by these 4 matches. We somehow lose at home to Brentford and then get destroyed by struggling Everton, but then we destroyed West Ham and then beat high-flying Arsenal. So we've got one game left and it is against Chelsea. The winner of that will decide who finishes 5th, but we're guaranteed to finish at least 6th. But the big news was coming via the Europa League, because this was the competition we flew in as we battered teams left, right and centre and ended up in the semi-finals against our old friends Monaco. And this 1-1 draw was enough to send us through to the final. And in that final, we're going to come up against Atalanta, the team that we battered earlier on. I've got high hopes. Going into the final, the team was looking something like this. The experiment to play Smith Rowe and Mazzala didn't really work, so I've tried him as an advanced playmaker out wide. In honesty, he's had a pretty frustrating season. He's good, but he should be so much better when you look at his actual attributes and the way he should be performing. He's frustrating me. It's been a pretty solid opening season for Wanyeri for us. I'm looking forward to seeing him kick on next year. And young Brazilian Rayan has also had plenty of game time, looking good. Yet again, Jagad at inside forward has been our standout man. But elsewhere in the team, the signs of drop-offs are starting to come. It's something I will assess at the end of the season. They're still playing well, but there might be room for improvement. On the positives though, we have got ourselves a good goalkeeper in Bento. So soon, shortlisting for the new season will commence, but first, this final against Atalanta. Now Atalanta, despite what happened in the first match, are a really good side. However, we did absolutely batter them. But they did take the lead in extra time, 105 minutes gone. Thankfully, we did get what we deserved though, and it took it to penalties. We started pretty well in these, and Atalanta did not. With new goalkeeper Bento coming up trumps, it was left to Pablo to redeem himself and score the winning penalty. And that means we give Fulham a huge trophy in the Europa League. I can't really complain about winning the Europa League, a great season overall, but for us to push on to the next level, we might need to make some tough decisions about some of our players. As it stands in this journey, we've finished 6th and 5th. We really need to push on somehow in the league and break that top 4. To do that, I was looking at my team and how we could improve. Robinson has been great for us the last couple of seasons as an attacking fullback, but last year he just didn't give us enough. Now a player I do have at the club that I haven't used enough really is Ryan Sessegnon. He's a more attacking player who can play as high up as a winger, but I'm thinking I'm going to take advantage of his ability to play as a winger and make him my new attacking fullback. This is backed up when you look at his data. He's only started 5 matches, but he's got plenty of minutes and he does seem to be perfect in an attacking sense. So he's going to be my first choice left back this season. Robinson will drop down to the bench. That's a big risk. On the right hand side, I'm also going to look for a more attacking option. Again, quite harsh on Kenny Tete. He's done nothing wrong. I'm just looking to get to that next level. Speaking of harsh, This man has been the backbone of the team since we started this save, but I've just noticed a drop off, and it's important when you're doing saves not to get too attached to players, and when they start to drop, replace them. So I'll be looking for a new Mazzala as well. And despite how good he should be, I need someone to put pressure on Emile Smith-Rowe. So this position is very much in the balance. I've got to look for someone to jump in there to potentially start. Hitting up my recruitment team, that came up trumps again. When I went to the American search, Talles Magno at New York City FC in the MLS. Now, there's a few things why I'm looking at this guy. First off, his value is very achievable. 3.7 to 5.6, and we don't spend a lot of money. Perfect. Attribute range, really good. Dribbling's fantastic. He's got good first touch. Technique, flair. He's been on loan in Brazilian football as well, which is what they got alerted to. And look at the goal return he's given. And his data analysis backs that up. My Italian scout recommends attacking midfielder Adrian Bernabei. Here's a player with great pedigree. Learned at Barcelona and City before making the move to Parma. You've got to remember he's playing for one of the teams that isn't one of the top teams, and he had a decent return in whatever position he played. I'm going to do some more scouting to really get to grips with these attributes, but on the surface of things he looks really good. Now look, my scouts are recommending some players I'd love to have, but the facts are I'm not spending 29 to 43 million. I'm trying to keep this on the low side, but my Spanish scout has found me another good centre-back option in Logan Costa. That's a great pie chart for a centre-back. Now look, he hasn't played much, but he is only 25. His physicals are absolutely fantastic. 6'3", good in the air, and a very decent valuation as well. And the good news was I was able to lock those transfers down. Logan Costa came in for us for 13.5 million from Villarreal. We got the Talles Magno in for 6.75 million. I think that'll be a bargain. Bernabei came in from Parma for 12. And then the big signing. I purchased Pepe for our biggest transfer fee yet. Now he's came from Man City, hardly played there, 18.5 million. As you can see, he's an attacking winger, but I am absolutely going to play him as our new attacking fullback. It is a risk because he's more of a winger than a fullback, but if we're going to break this top four, I think it's what we need to do. That means I've got my business done early and our squad is packed. The team will probably look something like this, although I do have a second option where we can get two strikers involved. The only position in real doubt is this one. Smith-Rowe, Magno will fight to the death. We're at the midpoint of the season now, and we have had a great start to the season, which I'll show you shortly. But first, we did get rid of some more players. And the players we got rid of amounting to 38.5 million. They were all just squad players, some we've made a profit on, some just did not work out, like Zizou. It does mean we've spent 164 million and brought in 159, so we've only kind of spent 5 million. And we're in the Champions League this season, and I knew we were going to have a decent season when Ranieri gave us a victory away at AC Milan. We also drew at home to PSG in a game that we were unlucky not to win. And at the halfway point of the season, in the Champions League, we're undefeated and sitting second only behind Man City. Speaking of Man City, this shows where we're at now as we beat them at home 2-0. Ivan Toney with the first and Talles Magno came up trumps to score the second. A big win and a deserved one as well against the Man City team who have Haaland and Gyökeres up front. Talles Magno has just started to get himself into the team as a starter, and as you can see he is producing big time. As are the whole team. It's been a wonderful first half of the season like we said, and after 20 matches we're actually sitting top of the Premier League by 4 points from Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool and City. Some big standouts have included Ranieri, who is starting to blossom big time. I mean, that is a mad decision by Arsenal to give us him for 4 million. Of the new players, Bernabei's came into the team as well with his assists absolutely through the roof. He's supplied 9 in 18 matches so far. And the risk at fullback by replacing both seems to have paid off. Pepe as the attacking fullback's done really well, as has given the start to Sessegnon. He's got 12 assists this season, leading the league. And the top scorer at this stage of the season is not Ivan Toney, it's actually Jagard as the inside forward. And getting 4.46 shots away per match is a big factor in that. He's now a natural in this position. When he first came to the club he wanted to be a shadow striker, but we've retrained him here, played him there, now he is elite. Never get too big for your boots in this game as we crash out of the FA Cup to lower division Sheffield Wednesday. And then this defeat by West Ham meant 3 league defeats in a row. But then we got the biggest result in Fulham's history as we went to the Nou Camp and beat Barcelona. And that seemed to wake us up in the Premier League as we got our form back pretty much straight away. With 4 games to go, we're definitely breaking that top 4, but we have a chance to do the unthinkable and win the Premier League. Problem is that running's pretty disgusting. Arsenal, Chelsea, City and a final day game against Everton at the Cottage. So undefeated in the league phase of the Champions League, we drew Barcelona in the round of 16, losing 2-1 this time at the Nou Camp despite playing really well. In the second leg at the Cottage, Barcelona ripped us to bits in the first half. They've got an elite team, there's Musiala playing for them, and before I knew it, we were 4-0 down, and it was only 43 minutes gone. So after some stern words at half time, the boys came out of the blocks, finally. 10 minutes into the second half, we'd already scored 2 back. And after 76 minutes, we were there again. This was some effort. That free kick made it 4-4, but we just ran out of time. But what a comeback. And he hasn't been a regular this season, but it was great to see Pereira there with a massive influence. But then it was the crucial match against Man City, who had a ton of games in hand. City's all-star team came out of the blocks, capitalising on a mistake. We were really sleepy here. Before I knew it, it was 2-0. But then after 20 minutes, everything changed. For some reason, Jack Grealish did this. Got himself a straight red card, and the fight back began. When there's space to play in, we are deadly. And we even scored a 5th late on. Through former player Pepe. A stonking win at the Etihad, which was absolutely vital because going into the last game of the season, it's between us and City for the Premier League. We haven't had a great run since February really, lots of draws, but we've just managed to stay ahead, and now it's the last game of the season against Everton, a team that has previously beaten us. We were nervous, but after 8 minutes, we needn't have been, as Ivan Toney gave us the lead with a looping header. Just 2 minutes later, we found our flow again, combining beautifully to give us a 2-0 lead. Something was going on here. After 16 minutes, we went 3-0 up. Sorry, make that 4 after 20. What is going on? We were playing some beautiful stuff, playing out from the back, Anderson driving forward, finds our new playmaker Bernabé. He finds Magno, another through ball to Ivan Toney, 5-0 after 22 minutes. Half time it was 6. Ian Hardy's put in the 8th from a penalty spot. We scored another, making it 9, and unbelievably, Fulham, Premier League champions. That is a beautiful sight. The team of the year was dominated by us with 6 players making it in, and I was really happy that our risk of taking on 2 attacking fullbacks was the right move, along with bringing in Bernabé. From an attacking point of view, he had just the season I was looking for, with 15 assists. The high wage move for Toney proved the right move as he scored 28 times this season. And what an impact in his first season from Talles Magno. And this fullback data is just what you want to see for an attacking wingback style. 13 assists from Pepe, and even better from Sessegnon with 18 assists. And Bento signed for 6 million, great performance, now valued at 50 plus. Unsurprisingly, a lot of those players are now wanted by other teams. So it was a tight season, we won the league, we deserved to, but we did get quite fortunate in the fact that some of the bigger teams did lose a rake of matches. But when you look deep into the metrics, we did deserve it. Look at open play key passes, for example. Our players are dotted around all over the place. And Bernabé, second place in key passes per 90, just behind Cole Palmer. I mean, I could go on and on. There's our keeper Bento stopping goals as well. And as a footnote, if you do come to use an anchorman, that's what you want to see. Progressive passes is his job. Get it, give it. Perfect. So great success with Fulham. We take down the Premier League after 4 seasons and we've done it on a decent budget. Big factor was the attributes, being able to see them, so we get success a little bit quicker than you would normally with just data. And of course, creating that 4-3-3 killer tactic, which is in Patreon, didn't half help. Oh, and by the way, we are closing in on 30,000 subscribers now. So if you haven't already and you enjoy this style of Football Manager and all the other stuff we do, drop a sub. Stuck to that tactic throughout. We didn't go to this one at all. And if you look at the analyst report, there was no need to, as we created plus 38 clear-cut chances for using the wide 4-3-3. As we finish this Fulham journey, obviously the Cans absolutely buzzing with the success we've had. And probably even more so, we did it on a net spend of 5 million. Look, all the signings didn't work out. There's some here that just didn't work. But a lot of them really did, and the combination of having the attributes, the scout reports, and the data proved the winning combination.